Welcome to a sneak peek of member content. Resumes. Resume formatting and information are covered, followed by a critique of 3 example resumes. Let's start by reviewing industry standards for resumes with therapy candidates. Items to include in your resume. Obviously your full name and contact information, and this should be done in an email or a phone number, preferably both. You want to include credentials, your licensure, experience, education, and professional affiliations, which could include memberships and any type of community involvement you have. Pediatric feeding discussions. Topics include feeding matters, babies can't wait, AOTA feeding certifications, SOS approach of feeding, Georgia Voices, and Therapy Works.
Because we are really teachers to the families. We have grandma there, mom, dad, uncle. Now that it's the holiday season, we'll be seeing, more grandparents coming in for therapy. And, we teach them because therapy doesn't happen in a vacuum. That's our belief, that it's not just that 1 hour a week thing, because the child, there's like 24 hours in a day times 7, and OT only happens 1 hour. So how do you expand that? So you involve them, you teach them activities, you teach them how to play with their kids, you teach them how to reinforce, how to notice, say good job, say, and it becomes, it becomes like a partnership with the families.
Cool.
Tell us what study used this outcome measure.
The outcome measure that we're going to talk about today is called the Modified Fatigue Impact Scale, and this was actually used in a study called a randomized control trial of a telephone-delivered physical activity and fatigue self-management intervention in adults with multiple sclerosis. This study was conducted by Matthew Plow and his colleagues, and it was summarized in the November 2019 GOTA newsletter.
That's interesting. Tell me more.
This study basically looked at 2 different telephone-delivered interventions for individuals with MS.
GOTA Journal Club, Chronic Pain.
So we'll just start at the beginning. Just kind of what was your general thoughts on this article? What did you guys think? Feelings after reading it?
I was really happy to see this article because it really got to the point, and I loved its charts. At first I was going 19 pages, but then it's like they really summarized it.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
Physical agent modalities, electrical stimulation quiz. TENS propagates along which of the following sensory fibers to override pain impulses? Afferent or efferent? TENS propagates along the afferent sensory fibers. True or false? Transcutaneous electrical stimulation, or TENS, activates motor fibers, therefore a muscle contraction is produced. False. TENS does not activate motor fibers and therefore does not produce a muscle contraction. Which of the following refers to the strength or intensity of the current administered during electrical stimulation? Frequency measured in hertz, amplitude measured in milliamps, ramp measured in time, pulse width measured in microseconds, or duty cycle measured as a ratio. Makers making change in 3D printing. Okay, so I think what really intimidates people about 3D printing is that there are a million printers on the market and it's hard to tell what's happening. So this is not even all of the printers that are currently on the market. But if you think about what Makers Making Change talked about, opened or closed systems, these printers really fall on a divide of being opened or closed systems. So things like MakerBot that Jennifer's school just got is considered a closed system. So that device, you literally pull it out. She's going to level the bed. She's going to lace up her thermoplastic that she wants to use, and it's a closed system. The one that I cannot not remember the name of the new name that CIDI uses. That one is one that is not a closed system. They can change how big their bars and their plate is to alter the way it prints. So all of these different types of printers, it's really whether or not you want to have an open or closed system. Nerve test quiz. The liftoff test requires that the patient rest the dorsum of the hand on the back lumbar region and reach away from their body. If the patient cannot get into the testing position or is unable to lift, what aspect of the rotator cuff is involved? The liftoff test requires the patient to rest the dorsum of the hand on the back of the lumbar region and lift away from the body. If the patient cannot get into testing position or is unable to lift, the subscapularis muscle is involved. Thanks for checking out the members-only content sneak peek. To access content, members must log into their GOTA.com membership profile. After logging in, click on the Resources tab and select the GOTA YouTube channel from that drop-down menu. Once you navigate to the YouTube channel page of the GOTA website, you will have access to the channel's mission statement, instructions for any member wanting to produce content, and to each video. To access the YouTube channel content, click on the tile representing the topic you are interested in watching.